Tulum, Mexico. If you don't already know me, my name's Christianne and this is my channel, Backpacking Bananas. And recently I decided to move to Tulum in Mexico. So today I wanted to give you a tour of my studio apartment here in La Valletta in Tulum. But before we do, I want to introduce the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark.
Surfshark are a VPN which stands for Virtual Private Network. And what that means is that you are able to use the internet when connected to a public Wi-Fi network as if it were a private connection. Now, this probably has more benefits than you might think. When your device is connected to a public Wi-Fi network, like in an airport for example, our devices are immediately at risk of being hacked. And this isn't uncommon. But when you have a VPN switched on while you are connected, those risks are eliminated and you can browse the internet freely without having to worry about someone getting access to everything on your device. Not only that, but a VPN also allows you to change the virtual location of your device so that you can always access the media you want no matter what country you are in, and you will not be restricted. And one of my favorite things about Surfshark is that I'm able to use the VPN on all of my devices, on my phone, my iPad and my laptop, all with just the one account. It's super easy to use, you literally just connect with the click of a button and you are all set. And Surfshark are offering you guys a humongous discount of 83% off and an extra 3 months for free when you use my code BACKPACKING or simply clicking the link in the description. I've been using Surfshark constantly while out here in Mexico and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose.
So like I said, I'm living in La Valletta, Tulum, which is probably the cheaper part of Tulum Central. There's a lot of digital nomads and expats that live here, and it's really, really lovely. There's so many like little cafes and bars about. Now, I found this studio apartment on Air BnB, which I think is a really good option, like if you're wanting to book before you get here, and obviously you can get monthly discounts on Airbnb, which is what happened with me. But I'd say when you are here, there's then WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups where you can post adverts and you can ask people saying exactly what you want, and then that's like another way that you can find accommodation here. So without further ado, let me show you my little studio. We're very close to what I believe is a hostel next door, but come on. I think there's like 6 apartments in this block, but this is mine. I have a lovely little court area and I really, really like the dream catcher going on. It's definitely my vibe, so come in. Is my apartment. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because then you'll know probably where I live. As you can see, we have a nice big bed. It's big enough for like at least 3 people, but it is just me here. But that's really nice because I can just sleep like this. Then on the left hand side, we have all of my sheets. So this is my wardrobe. I don't have too many hangers, but to be honest, I don't have too many things to hang up. Just like my play suits and my jumpsuits and my tops. And then all of like my folded stuff, like my trousers, etc. have just gone down here, and then anything I don't use as often I put on the bottom. Moving along, we have the TV. I'm actually so grateful for this. It's got Netflix, it's a smart TV, so it's actually really, really nice in the evenings if I'm not socializing or whatever. I can just pop on Netflix and it just really feels very homely. It's really, really nice. And then underneath here is where I'm basically just keeping all of like my electronics. As you guys know, I'm working online, and so I also have my Spanish classes here. So we just have like my iPad, my laptop, and the one thing that I'm really missing in this apartment is like actually somewhere nice to sit at a desk or to eat. So I've just been working on my bed and like propping my laptop up on a few pillows and kind of making it work. And then down here is where I keep my shoes, my water bottle, and my bags. So this Tropic Feel bag I've literally been using every single day. It's really good because it is waterproof more or less, and it fits basically everything I need in. So whenever I go to the beach or I'm going on a day trip, this is where I stick my towel, my mask and snorkel, my sun cream. And speaking of sun cream, like all of those things are here. So I just have like my sun cream, my bug spray, my body spray. Bug spray is absolutely essential here. I have been bitten to death. I'm going to show you a picture right now of my arse, my lovely, lovely arse, because it just got absolutely bitten to death the other day when I wasn't wearing bug spray. So that's quite important if you're coming here to know that you need to do that. Now, it's a very small kitchen, but surprisingly functional. I've managed to make quite a few meals here, literally just on this singular hob. So I did like this mushroom salmon pasta, and it was friggin' delicious. It took a while because I cooked everything separately, like first the mushrooms, then the salmon, and then the pasta, but then I shoved it all together and then it worked really well. I also have this coffee machine. How many of you have coffee machines like this? Because they're like, it's like a filter one. I've not used it. I don't like it. I don't like these coffee machines. I feel like it's messy. I don't want to deal with it. And then I have a smoothie maker, which I also haven't used, and this toaster thing, oven, which I also haven't used. I would consider using that, but I just haven't. I'm just not used to it. So it is a very small kitchen, and I have a small fridge, but like I said, it's functional, it does the trick. Now, I really need to go supermarket shopping because I have not got very much in my fridge at the moment. It's mainly just like juices, because I had a bunch of rum but made my way through the rum, not so much the juices. I have some wine, I have some apples, some veggies which I brought recently which I haven't eaten yet, and then just some like coconut water as well. So I mean, there's not a lot going on here. Like I said, I need to go to the supermarket and then I'll be ready to like make more meals another time. And in the freezer, I have a massive salmon. It was huge, and it was only like £10 or something for like just this humongous salmon, and so I was like, that'll be good, that'll last me a long time because I do eat a lot of salmon. And then shuffling along, we have all of my, what do you call this stuff, crockery? Just my cups, my plates, my cutlery, my wine glasses and things I use to cook, and then just a few like dry bits and pieces as well. I guess you could call this my very small pantry. I don't know. I just had coconut oil, seasoning or garlic salt, rice, pasta, some beans. I need to work my way through this. Oh, and of course, my silicone Tupperware, which is honestly, I'd say this is one of the best things that I decided to bring in my suitcase this time around. I've been using it almost every single day, and it's just so useful because it doesn't matter if I make too much food, I can just stick it in the Tupperware and then I have it the next day. So it actually saves me a lot of money as well. Moving on, we have my sink area, which doubles up as like a sink for the kitchen. So I have been doing my washing up here as well, so this is quite handy and gets used. But other than that, this is just where I've been doing my skincare. This is where I get ready in the morning, etc. It's not overly interesting, but what is overly interesting is this thing here. So you can't drink the tap water in Mexico. It doesn't taste good. I don't think it's good for you. And I do have my grey old GeoPress with me, but when you're living somewhere, like, you don't want to have to be filtering it like that the whole time. So this just came with the apartment, and it's the biggest blessing because not all the apartments here have this. And then finally we have my bathroom. I actually really like my bathroom. I love just like how rustic it is, but you know, it has everything I need. I love the little shelf I've got going on here, and just when I eventually have my own house one day, I'd love to have a bathroom just something like this, just open plan and I guess quite rustic. You don't need to see the toilet, that's not overly interesting. But that is it. Now let me show you the kind of complex that we're in. So a big reason why I chose these apartments in particular is because we have a pool. A very small pool, but a pool nonetheless with some lounges. And it was raining a lot last night, which is why there's a bit of shit around it. It's just such a blessing to have this because it is hot in Mexico. It's rainy season, but it's still boiling. Like, it will rain for, I don't know, I'd say an hour, maybe 2 each day. But other than that, like, it's just sunny and it's hot. And so I just find having a pool is just the best thing ever. We have my lovely little bike, which I still have not named. I feel like whenever I own pieces of transport, I should always give them a name, whereas this one does not. But it's great. I bought it for 75 quid when I first arrived. It's got me around. I have my bike lock, and you know, it's great. Everyone cycles around here, and I think I told you in the last video, like I was considering getting a scooter, but George said to me, oh, like just give the bicycle a go and see how you go. And honestly, I am fine with the bicycle, and it gives me exercise because I still have not got involved with any activities yet. I will, I promise I will, but I have not yet. And like, so this is my form of exercise, and like I think it's been doing great for me. You can rent bikes here from the apartment complex as well, but obviously because I have my own, I don't need to do that. And that's the front door. So it's like a double locked system, which I really, really like. It just feels like so much more secure than if you like just have your one lock. So I actually only booked this place for 1 month. I kind of decided that that was going to be my plan, whilst in Mexico it's basically just taking things 1 month at a time, especially just because of the coronavirus situation and uncertainty of being in foreign countries at this time. I didn't think it would be wise to book somewhere for much longer, but also like what happens if you don't like that new place that you book and you want to move on? So I'm just taking things 1 month at a time. And for now I'm staying in Tulum, but I might not stay here the whole time. I really, really love Tulum. I love the vibe here. I love how beautiful it is. But it's also somewhere where, it sounds ridiculous, but because it's so beautiful and the beach is so amazing, like I struggle to actually get work done here. And my goal in Mexico is to continue working, you know. I'm not traveling around the whole time. This is not like a normal backpacking trip for me. I'm settling in one place and I'm getting work done and I'm living in that place. Exactly like what I would back home in England, but just in a new country, a cheaper country where I can afford to have my own place with a pool that's really, really nice. So I don't know if I've mentioned, but this apartment here cost me about £700 per month, which is definitely not as cheap as some of the accommodation that you can get in this area. But I think one, the price was marked up because it was from Air BnB and not directly with the host, but two, because this place is really nice. Like, you know, I have a big smart TV, all the facilities. It feels very clean here, it feels very safe here. Obviously there's the pool and everything in here just feels like really nice and well presented and laid out. But I know some people who have like 1-bedroom apartments that may be much bigger than my place, but they don't have a pool. It's very, very basic. They don't really have facilities and it feels very old fashioned. And for me, I just know that I'd feel happy and more comfortable living somewhere like this. So rent is $700 and I have decided that my entire budget for the month is $1,500. So that means that I have about £25 per day to spend on other things, travel, activities, food. And I'll make a whole video on my budgeting here, but it's very interesting because there are many days where I completely go over my budget, especially if I end up going to the beach for food or drinks where, like I mentioned in my previous video, it's like 4 or 5 times the price. I could be spending up to £50 on just food and drink. But then I'll spend quite a few days here, working, doing nothing, getting local food or buying food from the supermarket, and I save so much money and I gain my budget back. So I really like to think I will stay on that 1,500 budget for the month, but I will let you know. But I'd say that even staying in Tulum Central, like staying in Tulum in general, is generally just more expensive than staying in other parts of Mexico because there are a lot of tourists here, so the prices are ramped up. What I'd also say about living here is that it's not the absolute best place for me to learn my Spanish because so many people here are expat, and when I'm speaking with my friends I speak English. Even the locals here, like the majority of locals, speak English because they're used to speaking with tourists. So sometimes even when I try to speak to locals here in Spanish, they just speak back to me in English and I'm like, oh, this is not what I was planning or wanting for my Spanish learning here. So I can tell you that I definitely will be leaving Tulum at some point, one, to save money, but also to really immerse myself more into Spanish and to be meeting locals that cannot speak English, and I have to practice with them. I'm so excited as to where my language learning can go and how good I could get at Spanish if I was super, super immersed in it. I don't think Tulum is that place, but I'm loving it for now. I think it's been a great way to, I guess, integrate me into Mexican life because obviously you are surrounded by Mexican culture and people, but not entirely. It's still very gentrified, it feels very familiar, it feels very easy. So I guess I'm easing myself into proper Mexican life. Welcome to my porch area. This is the only place that I actually have a table and chairs. It's not exactly ideal because the table is quite low, so it's not the best working situation, but I guess it's just encouraging me to go and work more in cafes and just in co-working spaces, which is never a bad thing. But nevertheless, I still really like this area. I really like the dream catcher that I've got going on, and it's just quite peaceful here. It's just my own little outdoor space, and I can socialise with people who are walking past as well, which is always quite nice because I am quite sociable sometimes. Also, I don't really know what's happening with my bikini today. It's just like a mismatch situation because like half my bikinis were wet and I just needed to dry them. I don't know, I don't think it's the worst combo in the world. So I want to share with you guys all of the random mundane things that are happening whilst living in Mexico, and one of those things is the fact that I need to get laundry done. Now there are a few different options when you're in a foreign country and you want to get laundry done. Either you have your own washing machine, which is very convenient, or you might want to wash it yourself if you have travel wash, or you can go to a laundrette, which is like self-service, or sometimes there are laundrettes where they do everything for you. You just drop off your laundry, they do it all for you, and then they give it back to you like clean, dry, folded. And because I am lazy, that is exactly what I'm going to do. And there's one like really close by, another letter to me. So I keep all of my laundry like just in a bag here. So whenever something's dirty, I just chuck it straight in here, and then when it's full, it's ready to go to the laundrette. So here's my little slip. I think that means that it was like 1.93 kilos and 51 Mexican pesos, which is really cheap. That's like less than £2, I think. As long as I've got that correct. This is actually my first time doing laundry at that local lavanderia. Why do I struggle so much with that word? Also, I don't know if you can see redness here. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It's like, it's a bit sore. It's a bit like a rash. I've never had that before. I hope it just disappears in a few days, but honestly, I don't know. I feel like these things always happen to me when I travel to new destinations. Like just something happens to my skin or my face, and it does eventually fade after a while, but I'm like, why? What's happening? My skin's just like, I'm not used to it here. So there are a couple of people who are a little bit upset that I didn't talk about any of like the COVID regulations and restrictions that's going on in Tulum, Mexico here right now. And so I thought I would take you to Chedraui, which is our biggest supermarket here in Tulum, because the restrictions are actually exactly the same as what they were back home when I was in England. So it's basically just that you need to wear a face mask when you enter like the supermarkets or any indoor shops and things. And they're very strict on that, to be honest, and they give you hand sanitizer like when you enter. I'm pretty sure we have to step our feet into something as well. So it's the same as what it was in the UK, and they are pretty serious on it, and like everyone has to wear a face mask who enters. But yeah, I'll show you what that looks like now. Hola. Gracias. So as you can see, they gave us hand sanitizer on the door. He also took my temperature, and you just step in something to, I don't know, sanitize your feet or whatever. And this is what it's like in the Colombian supermarket. In Mexican supermarkets. I automatically say I'm in Colombia. I don't know, it's just a reflex. So, I've showed you around my apartment, I've showed you how I do my laundry, I've taken you to the supermarket. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. If I'm completely honest, because I've got an apartment here, I'm not traveling around, it's not too dissimilar of a lifestyle to back home, except I have better weather and the beach to go to. I feel very grateful that the majority of the cafes and the shops here, and obviously the beach, it's all outside. And so I know to you guys, when you're watching this, it may seem like Corona just doesn't exist, but it absolutely does, and there are restrictions, there's curfews, there's regulations that are in place. You just haven't seen it so much because, I don't know, I find it boring to focus on those things. I feel like the majority of the year our lives have just been consumed by coronavirus, and I like to think that you guys watch this channel to feel good and focus on the positives. I always want to encourage you guys and myself, no matter what the situation, to focus on the positives of that situation. So that's why I'm not talking about it as much. Of course it still exists, and I will respect the rules and regulations of the place that I am currently in, and I encourage you to as well, wherever you may be. But yeah, I just really want to make you feel good with these videos. I don't want you to feel sad, I don't want you to feel anxious, so I'm just going to focus on the positives in life right now and the things that are making me happy. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. I know it's a tough time, but we will get through this. Even in places like Tulum, there's a lot of things that suck here right now, things that you want to do but you can't because of restrictions. But again, I don't want to focus on those things. I hope you all have an amazing Halloween if you are celebrating it. In Mexico, they have Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. I don't have any plans currently for that. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do because apparently it's a bigger thing in the area of Oaxaca, which I am not in, but I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll film it if you guys want to see it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!